Hello and welcome to another episode of the Playlist Podcast with me, Gemma Roots. Um, just me again today. Jack couldn't be here for this episode. Just a quick reminder for everybody that has listened to the show over the last couple of months. Back in August, we had our first ever Playlist Podcast Music Festival for Young Minds and Nordoff Robbins. That is still up on YouTube for you to watch if you would like to either rewatch or if you haven't watched yet, you can go ahead and watch that now. All for two great charities, and we've decided that we're going to keep the GoFundMe page up for the rest of the year so you can keep donating to help the two wonderful charities that we've chosen. But now, on to today's episode. I am joined by another special guest. We've had quite a few over the last year, so thank you for everybody that has listened and to all of the musicians so far that have appeared on the show. But today, I am joined by Sabina Chantouria. Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? It's great
I'm
to be
good.
here.
um, so for all of our listeners out there, did you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I'm a Swedish Georgian singer and songwriter based in Sweden. And yeah, I play the guitar and I sing, I write my own songs. And I've been doing so for like since the beginning of 2010 to pursue it as a career, so to speak. So, yeah.
So, what made you decide to pursue a career in music?
I mean, I've always been singing for as long as I can remember, really. And when I was in my early teens, I started to pick up the guitar and write my own songs. And then I'll always remember the moment when I was like 15 and I sang for a big crowd for the first time, and it was such a special feeling, and it really sparked something
Mm.
in me. And then when I was 19, I got selected to participate in a talent show with one of my original songs in Hollywood. So that was sort of the first big step in order to pursue it as a career. But yeah, it's been, with me for a long time, music. So
That must
um,
have been quite nerve wracking doing your first show to an audience at 15.
it was, but at the same time, I mean, it was nerve wracking, but then, being on stage, being there in the spotlight, it felt so natural,
Mm.
and it felt like the most natural thing to do. It really, it was a really, yeah, something that really, a game changer, I would say, for me,
Mm.
being that young and experiencing that was really an eye opener for me.
So, you've been doing it since 2010.
Yeah.
Who are your main musical influences? Have they changed since then, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I have many, but there's a few, that's been around since I was like a teenager. Madonna is one of them.
Mm.
Tori Amos, Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. But it's quite eclectic, I would say, my taste in music. But pop, rock, singer songwriter, country, Americana. Yeah, there's a blend of influences, I would say, but melody has always been very important to me, and I love, guitar based melodies somehow.
Mm.
Yeah.
um. So back in 2017,
Mhm.
you were a finalist for Eurovision for
That's right.
Georgia. How was that?
Yeah, that was that was a great adventure, really, and a great experience. And it was also, of course, nerve wracking, and so much, preparations that
Mm.
goes into such a thing. And it was, joy, nerves, and yeah, so many things combined, really. But again, being in the moment, performing the song, the 3 minutes that it is, goes
Mm.
by like that. I felt very much, present in the moment, and it was sort of almost like you know the yeah, it was a great experience, really. And I was very much in the moment when it was
Mm.
really,
So, what's
It
the
was.
process then for becoming a finalist?
I had collaborated with a music publishing company that
Mm,
was sort of specialized in national finals and Eurovision, a Swedish company. So we had worked a lot, and then this song that I had, "Stranger," it was very much, very poppy kind of tune, so it fitted very well for this format. And but yeah, there's a lot of preparations, rehearsals, and all these things, checking the sound, and there's so much logistics behind it. And um, yeah, it's an adventure, I would say.
that is quite an experience to
Hmm.
get the chance to do that. Not many musicians get that opportunity.
Yeah, I was lucky. I mean, it was very fortunate, and something that I wouldn't want to be without, for
Mm.
sure. And I also, I had to elevate my craft, of course, and it was very, something that you really you prepare yourself for a long time, and then it's just over like that, so fast. The performance is 3 minutes, but yeah, it goes a lot of preparations goes into it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So you've come on the show today, because you've recently released a single, "Blood on Your Hands," back
Hmm.
in August. Could
Yeah.
you tell our listeners a little bit about the song?
Yeah, so Blood on Your Hands. Well, against the background of the ongoing war in Ukraine,
Mm,
I decided I wanted to release this song, and I wrote it several years ago when I was in Georgia during the Russian-Georgian War back in 2008. So it's a very special song for me, and it sort of, I mean, it portrays, that ordinary people always pays the highest price in war and in weapon
mm,
conflicts, the ultimate price. I mean, and um, so that, yeah, and it's also about hope, and the hope to one day return to what once was called home, really. And so yeah, it's a special song, and it's touching on a very yeah, touchy subject, I mean,
mm.
really.
It's a
So
beautiful song.
thank you very much. It's
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Thanks.
um, so you've released a music video for the single. Was
That's right,
you
yeah.
was you involved in the process of creating the video?
Yeah, I mean, the director Tevat Satse, Georgian director Tevat Satse, and her team, we shot it in Georgia in July this year. So yeah, it was a very very exciting experience, and we had a lot of people involved in it as well. So it was I would say a big production,
Mm,
and yeah, I'm very very happy with the result, and it's very well done, and I think it really portrays the song in a very powerful way. So and it's out on YouTube uh, now. So, but yeah, it was very interesting to give the song, visuals to empower it that way.
mm. You really get that sense of empowerment with the song, especially with having the video as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it really it adds a certain dimension to a
Mm,
song when you have such a strong video to it. It really is very important. And we also had a lot of people that we're showing like portraits of people. You can really see the faces
mm,
of people, and that is also something that as a song it also you know involves a lot with the people that actually suffers in conflicts. So that was just very very well done to blend that sort of together.
yeah, it's a very powerful song, especially with the war in Ukraine, and I think it's very fitting with the
Thank you.
situation. So, what
Yeah.
made you? Was that one of the reasons why you wanted to release a song now? because of Ukraine.
Yes, exactly. That was the, I mean, I had the song has been, I wrote it several years ago really. So, but I just felt like because of what's going on in Ukraine, I just felt like no, I just now it's the time, I have to release this, and it's differs a lot, from my previous releases. I
Mm.
mean, it's we had guitar as the foundation, but then there's all of these other like instruments that, elements of orchestral music, and you can really feel like tension in the music. So yeah, but yeah, it was due to the situation in Ukraine. Now I felt like I really wanted to I just had to release it basically.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, so if you've had the chance to record music in LA.
Hmm.
How is it different from recording back at home?
Yeah, I mean it's I love being in the studio. It's a magical magical place really. And of course Los Angeles is sort of a music mecca, I would say, and there's a certain vibe and atmosphere that just is so great to be around. And um yeah, it was just I've been there several times and it's the same every time. Feel that certain, something in the air, I guess. I don't know, but it is just a very nice place to be recording music. And yeah.
Do you get a lot of advice while you're out there on your writing process?
You mean in LA or?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the Songwriting School of Los Angeles, for example, in 2019, and I got to network with a lot of people. I had a great mentor there, Nikhil Kurula also. So yeah, you get to meet with a lot of interesting people and a lot of advices and share experience, with people. So yeah, it's very empowering and enriching in many ways.
Oh, nice. Um, so you founded your own label and management company in
Yeah.
2013?
Yeah, exactly. Like 2013, I founded it, but yeah, it's mostly a record label.
Yeah.
So it's sort of yeah, my own record label, and I really got to learn, all the things, the business side of things,
Mm.
so to speak, and what goes into a release and all these things that you sort of, it's very good to know and very useful when you're doing things DIY, do it like yourself, basically. But I mean, I've collaborated also with music publishing companies and so forth. But it's very good to know, many things, and to have some sort of sense of control and knowing what um, the business side of things is always good to know that.
It must be really interesting because I don't know really, I don't know of many musicians that have done that, have your own label.
But yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I um yeah, no, it's I think it's interesting. Maybe I have, some sort of, interest for this side business side of it,
Mm.
also, I guess, somewhere. But uh yeah, I like to, I like it so far. I mean, so and yeah, so
So is it just you then, or do you have other musicians?
no, it's just me.
Just you?
It's just me. Yeah. For
Would
now, at least. We'll
Would you
see in the
like
future.
to have other musicians as part of your label?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it actually. It would be for the future. It would be something interesting, I think, to
Mm.
have like a selection of people. Yeah.
Oh, lovely! It's really nice to know that you enjoy both sides, especially the business side.
Yeah. Yeah. So it seems, but yeah, I guess that could be a possibility for sure for the future.
Oh, lovely. Um, have you got any planned gigs coming up that our listeners might be interested in coming to see you live?
Well, so I had one yesterday actually, and right now I'm in Georgia. So next week I'll have something in Tbilisi at the Tbilisi State University. Like I'll have a small show there. Um, but yeah, in the spring I hope to come over to the UK and play some gigs there, in London.
Oh,
So
lovely.
yeah, that's a plan. It was, I mean, before the pandemic hit, I was had shows booked.
Mm.
So that's definitely something for the spring. I hope to come over.
We would love to come and see you live.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll have to try and arrange that. Um,
Great.
so one final question that we ask any musician that's been on the show, um, for artists that have just started out, what advice would you give to a musician who's just started their career? What what advice would you give them?
Well, I would say, believe in yourself because, if you don't, no one else will. I guess it's a sort of a cliche, but it really, it's very true. Um, if you don't believe in yourself, then who will? So I guess that is my main advice. And then, of course, to invest a lot of time and dedication into your craft, and everything that goes into the whole side of music. Um, yeah,
It's really nice
and
advice.
great. And thank you. Yeah.
um, so Blood on Your Hands is out now. Where can our listeners find your music?
Well, they can find the song on Spotify, on Apple Music, and on YouTube. That's also where the music video is at. So those are the main sites. And I also have Instagram and Facebook, of course, and Twitter.
Oh, brilliant. Um, so thank you for coming on the show, Sabrina.
Thank you very much.
And for all of our listeners out there, thank you for listening. Um, again, you can watch this on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And you can also listen to the audio version on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. Um, and again, thank you again for coming on, Sabina.
Thanks
And
for having me.
for all of our listeners out there, thank you for listening. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.